Welcome back to the garden. So today's video, I am going to show you everything that I've been doing in April. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So I spent quite a lot of time in the cottage garden and in the tropical theme garden at the rear. I went ahead and got some gladioli planted, some foxgloves, delphiniums, and also I'll go on to plant some lupins and campanulas as well. Now my wife has requested for some hydrangeas in the garden, so I've got 3 different colours to which I'm placing them out and seeing where I want them in the garden. Now this border does not look like this anymore because these were planted 2-3 weeks ago and they've come such a long way, so that video will be out next week. Now, April and early May is a perfect time to start those tubers off when it comes to dahlias. Now, dahlias are my absolute favourite flower and I cannot wait to have my own cut flowers. Hopefully, they're going to dominate the landscape up on the left-hand side of my garden. So, all I'm doing is I'm just going to simply pop them in where the shoots are just visible and they won't be planted any deeper. I'm starting off with just a few varieties. These will go into the greenhouse. And what I really want to achieve from this is I want to see whether I can genuinely grow them, whether I can keep the rabbits off them, whether I can keep the slugs off them, and also whether I can actually get them over winter, or through winter, should I say, within what I'm going to create in my hopefully new summer house. Now, I think we can all agree that Theodora's done a great job planting these up with me. To be honest with you, I can't believe how good of a job she's actually done compared to some of my slapdash gardening sometimes. So these are going to go ahead, get put in the greenhouse, and they've actually started to shoot really well, which again, I'll show you next week. So if I didn't have enough going on already, when my appendix burst back in November, I wanted to set up something where I could spend more time at home and maybe make a couple of quid on the side, right? So what I decided I was going to do was going to make some hanging baskets. So it took me back to the days where I used to be head of department within a garden centre. One of my all-time favourite bedding plants was a variety called Night Sky Sophinia Petunia, which is now actually Constellation Virgo. I made the mistake of, when I wasn't mobile, I went ahead and ordered 150 plants, so 150 plug plants. What was I thinking? Because it came round and the nursery text me saying 150 plants are here. Now, I think they only cost me 75p a plant, so they're absolute bargain. But I haven't got time to do them, have I really? But nevertheless, I went and picked them up. Let me know down below if you guys do a similar thing. Do you make a decision on a whim, and then when the time actually comes to doing it, you think, how am I going to do this? What was I thinking? But anyway, so here we are. I've got 150 plug plants to pot up, to put with hanging baskets and keep the frost off them. So bit of a challenge this April, although it's not the coldest. We have had a few frosts and I've been wrapping them up at night. But I'm quite excited now I've actually got them done as to what they're going to look like. Obviously, I'm going to do a tipped up basket as well on the well. So I'm going to create a basket with some red Sophinias in, and I'm going to trickle them down. So I'm hoping to make a bit of a feature piece from that. And actually 150 plants, they don't actually go that far. These are my pom-pom dahlias from seed. I actually pinched these out a couple of weeks ago, and again is the perfect time for you to get them replanted or potted up. So I think I had about 50. Now, the transition from the house to the greenhouse has been a bit of a rough one for them, with temperatures fluctuating at night and the day. But they're looking okay. Again, I'll show you an update with some of these because they're not all looking great, but I've got enough to say that I reckon I'll have a decent display come this year. Hopefully get them to corm size and they'll look even better next year, 2026. Turning my attention to my rear garden now, this is my tropical theme. Now, I did a block edging a couple of months ago for my left-hand side border, and that is doing really well. And I wanted to create the same thing here around the greenhouse. So I took some Acuba japonica cuttings in autumn last year, and they've rooted really well. I'll put the link in the description down below if you want to go ahead and check those out. But I was really keen to get those planted, and these were going to be like a barrier, almost a small hedge form around my greenhouse. So I knew that the best time of year would be spring or autumn, but mainly spring to get the plants in now. So I needed to get this dug out. And I'll be honest with you guys, I've not been feeling 100% after my operation. So I've took things really steady. And that's why the vlogs have been a little bit slower just recently coming out. But I managed to get this dug out and planted up, and I was really pleased with the results. Now, a big thank you to Melvin for a couple of plants. So he went ahead and he's actually dropped me off some canna lilies and a Dalmeria paltata. And some such and such. So Melvin, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Honestly, things like that, I just never envisioned when I started a YouTube channel that the community around me would be so kind. So thank you very much. And you, Ian, I know Ian's going to sort me out with some dahlia cuttings as well. So yes, thank you very much.
So we're
and
now
Ross,
in April,
Russell,
and as you can see, I've added some
which we're going to come on
support
to in a minute.
to the plants, purely for when we bring them outside on days like this. Now, it is a beautiful day, but it is windy, and that will continue right the way through April. So when you bring them outside, you want confidence that the main stem isn't going to snap off, and also you can keep them nice and straight. So I tend to just put one little piece of string all the way around, and then as it grows, obviously I'll carry that momentum onwards.
So this is totally worth bringing them out of a weekend and then putting them back. It is a lot of hassle. However, the blooms that you get are absolutely unbelievable.
So the main thing with Brugmansias, if you want them to get big, is they start to crown at any stage really. So you want just one main leader, and I think we discussed this in the last video. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm just going to make it just so it's one singular one. I'm going to take a couple of leaves off at the base, or towards the base, and tie that up. Anything at the bottom of the plant can come off too, and then that will just concentrate on one leader.
Turning my attention back to my seedlings. So back in February and March, I sowed Black-Eyed Susan, which have actually done really well and transplanted pretty decently as well. So here I've gone ahead and I've just simply pricked them out with a pencil and just transplanted them into a multi-purpose compost, and they've moved into the greenhouse as well. And they've actually moved a lot better than the dahlias. The dahlias have had somewhat of a wobble. Now, I mention this all the time, and I use barbecue skewers for lots of different jobs in the garden, but the best one is for pricking out. But actually, these black-eyed Susans needed a good support, so I went ahead, popped them in, and then this will give these something to climb up. Moving on to my sweet peas. Now, my sweet peas got the better of me. They became lanky, and they should have gone out into the greenhouse into a colder environment much quicker, but they didn't. So what I've gone ahead and done is something called pinching out, or just simply cut them in half, so down to a leaf node, to encourage a stockier, healthier plant. And no, it's not too late to do this. You can do this with yours now in April and early May. And after a real busy weekend of cleaning up, I love having a fire or a fire pit. Let me know down below if you guys do the same, somewhere to relax. It ended this weekend brilliantly. It's one of my favourite things to do. A brand new weekend, so brand new jobs. The spirea was in for it. Now, I am not digging this out. I am simply cutting this down pretty much to the ground so we can enjoy the flowers still, because I do quite enjoy the spirea flowers, but just so it's not so dominating in the border. With the new roses that we've put in, delphiniums, lupins, hydrangeas, foxgloves, and all that sort of thing. I didn't want to take away all the hard work that we're doing. However, this was a massive job, even one which I managed to get Em on board. This is the first time Em's helped me in the garden. She's been really busy doing the house and done a fantastic job. She's done an amazing job with the kitchen. We've got almost like a cottage style little kitchen now, which looks amazing. So she's turning her attentions to helping me in the garden, and I'll be honest, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed having that little bit of help, and we have a lot of banter, so things always don't seem so bad when you can have a laugh along the way.
So with that little bit of planting done, I'm actually going to treat the slugs. This is bitter. So it's the best thing I found for tackling the slugs last year, and that I'm going to mix a little bit of water with this, so not quite neat. I'm going to place them next to all the freshly planted plants that I've just done, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll stay off, because I have already had some slug damage on my delphiniums. I planted 3 delphiniums and 1 is completely gone. So tonight I'm going to go ahead and do this. And it is worth mentioning, I did pick these up. These were just £1. The beer was less than £3. I know the slugs don't really like this kind of material, but these are going to be sunken into the ground and they're not really going to touch this. So this is going to be a case of, hopefully it will be a generic slug trap where these will just drop straight in.
Plant looks really good, look, Tobes.
Yeah.
So they haven't been eating it. but they couldn't resist the beer.
I was wondering what that was. There's a... You've caught slugs.
So that is my update. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I think you'll all agree, front and back garden has come on quite a long way. So without further ado, I'm going to end the vlog here. If you enjoyed it, then please give it a big thumbs up, as it really does help the channel out in many different ways. But until next time, we'll see you in the garden. Take care, guys.